Hey guys, Hopper Hot Take tonight. Let's talk once again about school-based healthcare. When does the madness end? So in Chicago this week, Chicago Teachers Union went on strike because of COVID-19, and they have voted to end their strike. It says here, this article that I'm reading from Catherine Fung, says Chicago school nurses may get the short end of the stick as union leaders strike a deal. So in this article, it talks about the COVID-19 pandemic and some of the issues there, but this goes much further back than just COVID-19. So let's think about this and let's talk about this. They want testing, they want contact tracing, they want mass distribution. Those are all really important things as we go on to continue to fight COVID-19. However, the teachers union wants to just lump that all on top of the school nurses. Once again, you know what? Somebody else can do the work. I want the goal. I want somebody else to do the work. And well, quite frankly, your school nurses are already overwhelmed. So let me read this. Let me find this paragraph here. It says, okay, we did a survey of nurses at the beginning of the year to get a temperature check where they're at. 80% of the schools in the Chicago public schools have multiple schools they're responsible for. 40% have 3 schools each, and 7% of them have 6 or more schools. That doesn't make sense on a normal day, much less in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. One person can't manage one school when it comes to contact tracing, COVID-19 testing, isolations, plus deal with the normal day-to-day operations of the nurse's office. That can't be done at one school. Now you want that one person to do it at 2, 3, 6 plus schools? Ridiculous. Now, as I was looking into this a little bit, and I read this one article. I read another one here from Sarah Karp from January 2020, so right before COVID-19 hit. Chicago wants a nurse for every school. Are there enough? Again, ridiculous. I am tired of that being the argument of we can't have school-based healthcare because there's not enough of them to go around. That's a wrong answer. We see the same thing in athletic training. We see this same thing in athletic training all the time. Athletic trainers have multiple high schools they're responsible for. I started my career where I was assigned to one high school, but then I did injury checks at 3 additional high schools. How does that make any sense at all? How does a nurse travel from school to school to school? It makes no sense. But I see so many parallels here between athletic training and school nurses. Because so many times the same battles we're fighting in athletic training, the school nurses are fighting on their end. Being on an island by themselves. So many athletic trainers across the country are on an island by themselves. Being assigned to multiple schools. Athletic trainers, school nurses across the country being assigned to multiple schools. You cannot provide health care that way. You cannot do it. It doesn't work. It didn't work before, and it really doesn't work during a pandemic. Now, some of the school nursing responsibilities that have been added on in the midst of this pandemic are not the fault of the schools and not the fault of the school nurses at all. They're the fault of our government. They're the fault of our healthcare system. School nurses are being expected to be public health care. They're expected to do contact tracing. They're expected to do so many things that are outside the realm of normal student health care. But there's nobody else to do it. Nowhere else is it getting done. I would bet that in most places around the country, contact tracing and that whole process is getting done better in the school system than it is anywhere else. Our school nurses need our support right now. Our school nurses need our support. School districts need to find a way to put school nurses in their schools. And not only that, they need to put appropriate numbers of school nurses in their schools. Our future is put at risk every day by this pandemic. We can sit here and talk about the education side all day long. It's really been messed up by this pandemic. Our teachers are trying as hard as they can. We have administrators trying as hard as they can. We also have student health care workers, our school nurses, our athletic trainers working as hard as we can. We have to do a better job of giving them the resources to be able to do this efficiently, correctly, and appropriately. That is tonight's Hopper Hot Take. You guys have a great night.